All right. Welcome. Let's get started. All right. So I like to use a blanket to sit on for the beginning of class. It gives us that little bit of extra love for our hips, allows us to sit up nice and tall. So let's just take a moment before we get started. Just reset, get present in this moment. So finding a comfortable position. If we can, we'd love to stack our head over our heart and then our hips. Sitting up nice and tall, hands on the knees, up or down, or to the center, whatever is going to feel most comfortable. Turn the focus inward by closing the eye. Feel yourself lift through the crown of your head. Let your shoulders fall down just a little bit more. Inhaling through the nose, filling the upper lungs, the lower lungs, and the belly. Exhaling through the nose or mouth, whatever feels most comfortable. Relax the space between the eyes. Soften the jaw, neck, and shoulders. And just take a moment to let go, to be here now. Couple more breaths here. Soften those shoulders a little bit more. Lift up through the crown of the head. Let a smile wash over to carry throughout your practice. And then inhale, lift the arms up overhead, maybe looking up. Exhaling, hands down to the heart. Bring the hands to the ankles or just directly in front of you. We're going to bring some energy through the body, warming up those hips, leaning forward on the inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, rounding the back, circling. So it's a little bit of a cat and cow movement here, but we're warming up our hips as well. Circling the spine, moving with your own breath at your own pace. And then we'll go the other direction. You might focus in and feel that weight moving on the hips. You might focus in on the spine or the chest lifting and then rounding of the back. 2 more. Last one. And back to center. Lifting through those heart, roll the shoulders down. Incorporating something different, a little bit different, warming up our spine. Bring the hands to the shoulders. Try to keep them down. It might feel a little bit awkward at first, but we're going to twist and turn from the center body. So kind of using the elbows as a guide point. If it's a little strenuous on the shoulders, you can keep your arms down and just turn from the center. I want you to focus in. Feel the breath. Twisting and turning. You can move nice and slow, or you can move a little bit faster. Whatever feels good. I want you to warm up your spine here. We're kind of taking that point of our lower back here, the waist, or maybe we call the gateway to life, and we're opening it up a little bit. And then we'll release, ease off, let those arms down. Inhale, reach up. Reach, 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 and then float down. 2 more. Inhale, reach, and then relax. Last one. And release. All right, now that we've warmed up our upper body a little bit, let's stretch out those legs. Move that blanket to the side and then turn. We're going to warm up those legs a little bit. Stretch them out, shake them out, okay? Give them a massage if that's what feels good. Curl back and lengthen the toes if you need to. Okay, just warm them up, get them moving here for a second, okay? All right, we're gonna do a bunch of different things with our legs for a moment, okay? So starting with just a basic forward fold, move the thighs to the side, find your sit bones. Curl back your toes. Remember, if it's hard to sit up here, take that blanket, roll it up, tuck it under the knees, okay? This is also good for bringing the focus to your lower back instead of the legs, okay? We want to focus on alignment first and foremost. All right, from here, nice curl back of the toes. Inhale, arms come up, lift and lengthen just like you were sitting. Exhale, fold forward. Remember, it's your first fold. It's not going to be very far. Nice flat back, length through the crown of your head. Feel the fold from your hips here. All right, that's what we want to focus on. One more breath, and then release. Inhale, coming up. All right, so we're going to work on those legs a little bit. We're going to start by just bringing that left foot into the thigh. All right, so if you want, you can tilt your hips open a little bit more and bring that foot a little bit closer to the groin area versus the thigh if you want to work on your hips. Curling back the right toes, we're going to take the forearm to the thigh and then bring that left arm overhead. So find length down the side of your body. Maybe you're focusing on opening up your hips here. Maybe you really concentrate on that right leg, curling back those toes, giving yourself a solid base to lift out of. Wherever you are, connect with your breath. So we can keep our head neutral. We could look down, or we could even twist open and look towards the sky. It's going to be personal preference. Listen to your body, take a moment, find that length, and then come back up on an inhale. Ground the left hand, take the right arm overhead. Real quick, counter stretch. And release. All right. Let's switch sides. So first, setting up, maybe realigning, right? Finding our sit bone. Very important. We want that connection to the earth. Curl back the left toes. Two options again. Foot to the thigh gives us nice stability. Or if you want your hips a little bit more, tilt open to the side a little bit. The heel comes towards the groin area. Lift up nice and tall. So lengthen through the crown of your head. Curl back those left toes. Left arm to the thigh. Right arm overhead. Really find length from the fingers down the ribs all the way to your hips. Breathing nice and deep. Feel that connection of both sit bones to the ground. Curl back those left toes. And then release. Come up. Ground the right hand. Left arm extends over this time. Bend into it. And come back. All right, stretch out the right leg. Find your sit bones. Left knee comes up. Remember, the distance is up to you. If you're keeping it on this side, we want a fist between the ankle and the thigh, or the calf and the thigh. Most important, length through your spine. Remember, sit up nice and tall. Curl back the right toes. If you want to work on your hips a little bit, cross it over to the other side. Really keep that connection. Feel the stretch around the outside of the leg here. Lift and lengthen, right hand to the left knee or the elbow. Turn and look behind you. Remember, length through the spine is most important. Curl back those right toes, solid base to lift out of. And then we would look behind us. Left fingers point towards the side of your mat. Both shoulders are nice and relaxed. We feel that belly expand into our thigh with each inhale. Really focus on keeping that left sit bone on the mat. That's going to give us that stretch if that leg is crossed over. And release. Come off that twist. Take the arms around to the other side for a breath. And release. Back to center. Uncross the leg. Lengthen it out. Realign your sit bones if you have to. Curl back the left toes. Right knee lifts. Again, near the calf, the knee, or all the way up. And then if you want that extra bit, cross it over. Lift up nice and tall. Curl back those left toes. Focus on keeping that sit bone on the mat. Left hand or inside of the elbow to the knee. Lift and lengthen, then turn and twist. Shoulders down. Feel it stretch around the outside of the hip if you have that leg crossed over. One more nice deep breath here. And release. Come back across into the other side for a breath. Counter twist. And release. Stretch out that right leg. We're going to insert that forward fold. Remember, lift and lengthen. So important. Curl back both toes, hips, knees, and ankles in alignment. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Remember, nice length through the spine. Maybe then you relax the head down. You'll notice quite a difference in how you feel already. One more breath here. Maybe you push yourself on that exhale before you inhale and release and come up. Let's draw the base of the feet together. How far you come is up to you. You can have them out nice and wide or bring them in. We can also sit on that blanket or towel, giving yourself that extra space. Two options: holding static, lift and lengthen, and then fold. So leaning forward from your hips. You can use the elbows to press into the knees. Another great option, if we're rounded in our back, inhale, relax, exhale, lift and press down. Inhale, release. Exhale, press down. So choosing the option that works best for you. We're going to take 3 more breaths here, maybe 4, maybe 5 if we're really enjoying it. But we're going to find that length through our spine. Find that opening of our hips. And we're going to release. Inhale, come up. Draw those knees together. And we're actually going to come onto our hands and knees for a moment. So if you want that extra padding, take that blanket or towel, unroll it, tuck it under the knees. All right. Take a moment, check in with your alignment. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Whole palm is pressing into the mat. Shoulders over wrists. Remember, don't lock out the elbows. Lift out of the shoulders. You use your muscles. Knees under hips. Tops of the feet are on the mat. All right. Take a moment, just 2 or 3 breaths here. Inhale, relax the spine, hips up, cat. Exhale, chin to chest, navel to spine, punching the back. Inhale, relax and look up. Exhale, round and look back. One more. All right, come back to tabletop. Nice engaged core. kick that right leg back. Press the toes into the ground and now push into your heel. Feel that stretch through your calf. So you're actually pushing out of your palms. Feel the leg opening here. All right, we're extending through the hips all the way down through the heel. Nice big stretch of the calf here. And release. Come back to center. Realign if you have to. Shift to the right. Left toes touch the ground. Press into the heel, pushing back out of the palms. Really opening up the calf. One more breath here. Really push, push, push. Even weight from the ball to the left and right of the ball of the foot. And then release. Back to center. Hips to heels. Reach the arms out nice and long, stretching the back. Child's pose. More active version here. We're going to come and rest in a moment. So really reach with those arms. Imagine your hips really sinking towards the heels and relaxing the head down. One more breath. And then inhale back up. If you have a blanket underneath you, we're going to take a moment. Move that to the side. We're going to come to lay on our mat. So if you want that extra challenge for a moment, come into a small plank and then lower down and relax. Take a moment. Let your arms come overhead. Maybe your head's resting on your hands. Shimmy your legs out so you have that length in your spine. Hips, knees, and ankles in alignment. Tops of the feet on the mat. Just taking a moment. Feel how different this is compared to being in a sitting posture or laying on your back. Are you able to relax a little bit more? You can really feel your belly press into the ground here as you inhale fully. And exhale and release. Body sinks into the earth. All right, a little bit of a passive opening of our hips here. We're going to relax our head to the mat. It might be looking to the right. Our arms are going to come out like a cactus or field goal post. So the elbows are bent, fingertips point up, elbows in line with our shoulders. We're going to shimmy our right leg out to the side, and we're going to draw our knee up towards our elbow. We're relaxing our foot so that the inside of that right foot is on the ground. And we're trying to keep our hips level from side to side. So the higher you reach, the more you're going to feel this. You can look to the left. That feels really good too. You could also have your head nice and neutral. Find the position that works best for your body. Depending on your hips, you might feel this in the left hip. If you're reaching really high, you might feel it in the right. Wherever you are, find your breath. Let your body open and do the work. We're really using gravity to help and assist us in opening up our bodies while fully relaxing the upper half. One more breath. And then release. Scoot that leg back to center. Realign your position. And then this time, left knee comes towards that left elbow. Again, right foot is relaxed, top of the foot on the mat. Inside of the left foot is touching the ground. Arms are in that cactus or field goal post. Rest the head in whatever position is comfortable. It might be looking towards the right this time. adjusting if necessary, trying to keep even pressure from both sides of your body here. Again, just allowing gravity to do that work. The weight of the leg opening up the hips, the weight of the body pulling closer to the earth. Couple more breaths here. Remember to relax into it, let yourself breathe. And then release. Draw that leg back, realign your position. First, we're gonna draw our arms in so that our palms are by our shoulders. And we're gonna push up just a little bit and then bring the elbows under the shoulders for a small cobra. So pressing into the palms and forearms, lift out of your chest, lift up, find length through the abdomen, all the way up through the crown of the head. Remember, hips, knees, and ankles in alignment, pressing through and release. Draw those elbows out to the side, relax the head down for a breath or two. Now we can repeat that small cobra, or we can bring those palms under our shoulders and then push all the way up and then lift off the ground. We don't want to collapse here, okay? We want to lift off of our thighs and push up. We're stretching out the front of the hips here, so we're not collapsed. Push out of the shoulders. Tops of the feet are the only thing touching the mat here, or lift through the crown of the head. Everything's connected to the ground. One more breath and release. Relax the head down, come back to your mat. Release the lower back. We're gonna bend our right knee, bringing the heel towards the hip. Resting your head in a comfortable position, we're gonna grab the right hand for the ankle. Drawing the heel towards the hip if possible. We can always use a strap here too. These are great props. This is a little bit more difficult to set up. We kind of have to wrap the ankle, but then we can use both arms to pull the heel towards the hip, using that strap to adjust. Stretching out the front of the thigh here. Taking a few breaths. Heel to hip and release. Draw it in nice and tight. And then release. Let that right leg come back. Switching sides. Again, head's in a comfortable position, whatever that means for you. I find myself looking to the side that I'm working on. Bend the left knee, reaching for the ankle or wrapping the strap. Draw the heel towards the hip and then gently ease off. Heel to the hip, easing off. Nice stretch of the front of the leg without having to balance. Relaxing the rest of our body. One more breath here. You can relax and just lie on your mat here. If you like the challenge, bring your head to neutral, resting on the forehead, or maybe the chin for a second. Bend the right leg, right hand to the ankle or the top of the foot. We can stay here, drawing both heels towards our hips, or you could squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift the chest. You could stay here, or you can try to extend those legs out and balance on your belly a little bit, using the arms to stretch the legs and the legs to stretch through the arms and chest. This one's a challenge. I want you to remember that. Give yourself grace. Take one more breath resting. We're in the full pose and relax. Bring those legs back to the mat. Hands to the shoulders, pushing up and back for child's pose. Hips to heels, fully relaxing. You can leave the arms out in front. You could stack the fists, making fists, stack them so you have a place to rest the head, or palms facing up, arms around the side of your body, hands are next to the feet. Stretch your body out the other way. Relax into it. Find that length through the lower back by letting your hips really sink towards your heels. One more breath. And then bring the palms to the shoulders again. Inhale, pushing up, take it nice and slow. Just take a moment, if you can, sitting hips on heels. Roll your shoulders back for a second, nice and gentle. And then we'll make our way to just being on our knees. We're going to push our hips out. So hands to the hips, and we're just going to stretch them the other direction. You can drop the chin towards the chest. If you have the full wheel and you want to bring your hands to your ankles or to blocks, if you have them, feel free. Stretching out the front of the leg. And release. Let's come and lay on our back. So taking it nice and easy. Take a moment, moving nice and slow. Knees up. If you want that extra challenge, arms out and slowly roll. Nice and easy. So we come down, head resting on the mat. I want you to take a moment, lift the hips, lower back comes a little bit closer. Hips, knees, and ankles in alignment, or feet out to the edge of the mat, knees into the center. Whatever helps you relax fully. Chins lifted towards the sky. Arms are in a resting position, so hands on the belly, palms open to the sky, whatever feels most comfortable. That's your goal. Listening to your body, accepting where you are today, as every day is different. Can you relax the space between your eyes just a little bit more? Or maybe soften through the jaw. Perhaps you can let your shoulders hang a little bit closer to the mat. All right, bring those hips, knees, and ankles into alignment. The feet do not have to be close to the hips. We can have some nice space here, just a comfortable position. We're going to let our knees hang to one side. So we're going to roll onto the outside of the right foot and the inside of the left. Knees hang over. Then we're going to come back to center and then across to the other side. So outside of the left foot, inside of the right, knees hang over. So I want you to focus in on your lower back and your hips. How can we open this area? How can we soften and allow our knees to hang a little bit closer towards the ground? Moving at your own pace from left to right. You can feel a stretch around the hips. You might feel an opening of your spine. Wherever you are, listen to the body, move in a way that feels good. We'll complete one more round. And then we'll come back to center after completing this round. Draw the knees in towards the chest, one at a time, lifting them up. You can use the hands on the outsides of the knees or the inside, whatever feels most comfortable. Really hug them in tight. Maybe you even wrap the inside of the elbows to the knees. You can rock on your back from side to side. You could circle if that feels good. Just take a moment, stretching out our spine in a different way. If you think about it, it's similar to child's pose. So we really want to hug those knees in tight. And then release. Let the feet hit the floor. Lengthen the legs out nice and long. Extend the arms overhead. Find length from the fingers down to the toes. Really reach, reach, reach. And relax a little bit. We're going to walk the feet over to the right side. So walk them over. We're making a banana shape with our body. We're going to cross the right leg over the left. And then we're going to walk the upper body over to the right side a little bit. Again, think about creating a banana or crescent moon. Left hand to right wrist, finding length down the left side of your body, all the way through to your hip. Taking a couple of breaths. Really find that opening of the ribs here. And then release. Relax the upper body, unwrap the legs. Back to center first, and then across to the other side. So walking the legs over. Left crosses over the right. We can shimmy that upper body over, this time right hand to left wrist. Again, we think about opening the ribs, finding length down the right side of your body all the way to your hip. You might have to readjust sometimes and maybe shimmy your feet over just a little bit more. And release back to center, nice and relaxed. Walk those feet over, and then knees to chest. So one knee up to the foot, then the other, and then knees to chest. Hug it in nice and tight. Maybe rock from side to side. And then release. Drop the feet down. Hips, knees, and ankles in alignment. Bringing the arms down the side of your body so the fingers are somewhere near your toes. We're going to press the palms and shoulders into the mat. Chin lifted towards the sky so the neck is neutral. Lifting the hips, the lower back, and middle back off the mat. Small bridge. Squeezing the glutes to lift a little bit higher. Really press into the palms and shoulders as well as the feet, keeping the legs engaged like there's a block between your knees so that the hips, knees, and ankles are still in alignment. One more breath and we'll release. Lower back down, knees to chest. Hugging them in nice and tight. Feet hit the floor. One more small bridge, hips, knees, and ankles in alignment. Arms down the side of the body, press into the palms and shoulders. Press into the feet, legs in alignment, nice and straight. Lift the hips, lower and middle back off the mat. Three choices. Stay here, lace the fingers behind the back, squeezing the shoulder blades together so you can lift a little bit higher. Or hands, the lower back, lifting just a little bit more. Squeezing those elbows and shoulder blades together. Wherever you are, take 2 more breaths. And then on that third inhale, we'll lift, release the arms, exhale, lower down. Knees to chest. Hug them in nice and tight. Really squeeze them in. Let your lower back soften towards the mat. Let your feet hit the ground. And we're going to let those knees hang open. So bring the base of the feet together, knees butterfly open, just like we did when we were seated. Different opening of the hips now that our upper body is relaxed. If you'd like, take the arms overhead, mirroring the position of the leg, stacking one hand over another. Maybe you notice how it's easier to relax into this pose now that we're not sitting. You can let your hips soften and open just a little bit more. Let your lower back come closer to the mat, softening through the shoulders so that they're nice and heavy on the mat. One more breath here. And then release, relaxing the upper body first. Draw the knees together. Hug them into the chest one final time. And then feet hit the floor. Entering into our final twist, always giving ourselves that bit of an opening here. Line yourself up nicely, hips, knees, and ankles in alignment here. Nice straight spine. Entering into your favorite twist, or join me in lifting up your hips, bringing them to one side, giving ourselves some extra space, knees to chest, and then across to the opposite side. The upper body is up to you. We can take the arms out like a T, palms and shoulders press into the mat, or palms to the sky like a cactus or field goal post. Wherever you are, try to stack your hips, finding space in your spine. We can always tuck a blanket between our knees, giving us that little bit of extra space. If you want that full body twist, you can turn and look to the other side. But just allowing our bodies to soften and open. One more breath on this side. Where can you relax just a little bit more before we transition over? And release, relaxing into it. Knees back to center first. If you want, you can stop and pause and bring those knees to your chest, or come to the other side, lifting those hips up, knees to chest, across and over to the opposite side. And then again, completing that full twist if you'd like. Full body twist, nice and relaxed, stacking the hips. Probably the hardest part here. Just a couple of more breaths. And release, come back to center, nice and slow. Realign your position, drawing those knees in if you'd like, hugging in nice and tight, and then stretching out those legs. Entering into our final resting pose. Feet are at least hips distance apart, if not shoulder width or more, letting your feet dangle to the side, fully relaxing the spine, palms open to the sky, having some space from your arms to the side of your body. Remembering that this pose is just as important as all the others. We want to let that energy reabsorb into our bodies. We worked with our hips a lot today. That allows a lot of emotion to come through. So give yourself a moment. Let your breath return to its natural rhythm. Relaxing the space between the eyes, softening the jaw, neck, and shoulders. We allow ourselves to just be here right now in this moment, remembering it's only but a few minutes of class that we take this time in silence to relax fully. Few more breaths. Where can you relax a little bit more? Start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. We'll roll the wrists and the ankles. Maybe you tilt the legs from side to side, warming up those hips in a different way. You might feel the difference in your tailbone or your lower back when you do that. Reach the arms overhead like it's first thing in the morning, reaching from the fingers to the toes. And we'll lift one leg and then the other. Knees up. So we can lift the hips and roll over to one side. Taking a breath or two here before using that top arm to push up into a seated position. Moving nice and slow. Take a moment. Closing the eyes, focus inward, just lifting through the crown of the head. Let your shoulders hang down. Let a smile wash over to carry you throughout your day now. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands come down in front of the heart. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.